Hello boys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Switch. In the last episode we left off going into World 6 and getting a couple of our stabs and stuff, and I believe starting in a minute, maybe later, we'll have enough stars to beat the main game, but that's obviously not enough. We need to unlock the secret worlds as well, which involves getting all the stars there, so yeah. And we also need all the golden flagpoles I actually forgot about. We haven't missed one yet, but anyways, we're starting with Prince Bully Blockade. So this fight is literally you slap him over and over again, then you slap him once more, and then you do this again, and that's the entire fight. He only attacks with fire, and if you have the catsuit again, it's pretty easy. You just slap him until he dies, and that's it. Another very easy fight, even easier than the last one. I think the boulder one so far was the toughest one, just because of how annoying it is, and because in the next one we'll actually have to deal with that a little bit harder. Obviously, it's gonna get really harder after this. But anyway, heading into here, we have to go to this level. There's a secret off to the right. Well, obviously we're gonna go for that first, so I can figure out if there's anything there. Oh jeez, that nearly that invisible block nearly got me hit there. That would have been really annoying. The entire emphasis of this area is that there's secret zones hidden throughout the area that you can climb up a little bit further. I know the game tells you you're supposed to head to the right, but yeah, we're not gonna go anywhere there. We're just gonna kind of just chill and go up to the top, and the very top of this tower will be our first green star. Fortunately, not a lot of these levels I've actually explored, so I still have lots of stuff to go. But anyways, that's the secret of this world. Obviously, since it's meant to be a catsuit world, we're obviously going to just climb up everything, because that's probably where we're going to find secrets, and speaking of which, we already found a secret here. There's a trick to skip that, but I prefer to just do that because it's really easy regardless of what you do, as long as you do that properly. But yeah. Again, catsuit I feel like makes this game pretty easy, but then again, there's still much harder things we have to deal with later. Okay. I think we did skip a small bit of gameplay, so I'm gonna head down here instead. I do believe there's one troll spot where you might have to go underneath it, but it's hard to check where that is without dying, so I'd rather not deal with that. Instead, we'll start by taking the game's intended path for this next section. Okay, I think I know where it is. Yeah, see? This has to be it. Okay. Found another green star. And then the stamp might be either on to the left or somewhere else here. Since I don't know about it, we're just gonna pound for this area on purpose to see if we can find it. Or The stamp is probably actually, let's be honest, is hidden below the level, is what I'm assuming. Or it could be right in here. Oh, yeah, or right up there. That is not a very difficult stamp to get at all. Especially with Luigi's extra jump height, just being able to reach that easily. Alright. I thought that stamp would be more hidden, but looks like they just hit it there. Okay, so I was good to not check those spots. Again, most of where the stars are hidden kind of escapes me, so I still don't know which one's best or not. Oh, and there's one of the crazy levels I was talking about. But first, we have to deal with Typhoo Fairies. This is our level where you're tempted to use the touchscreen to stop them by stunning them to prevent them from dealing an attack to you. But if you're really smart on how you play this, you could just avoid this. Right, this is the much harder of the levels to get correct. Because you have to skate in here to get the stamp, which otherwise will deal you damage with anything else. And there's also other stuff you have to deal with. Thankfully, I think it was only needed for that. There's that star hidden up top of the right. Now you are supposed... Now there is a strategy where you can stun the clouds if you wish, but that's not available to us playing on this controller set, so we kind of just have to deal with them as cycles, unfortunately. Which makes it really long. This is one of the trickier ones to do properly. Now, they actually give you quite a few extra sections, as you see. Clearly, the timer hit 0, and it didn't actually knock me out. So, as long as you are in the radius within a certain time frame, you'll still get the blocks. And I don't think I'm able to do... Oh, wait, no. Never mind. This is a time jump, which is really annoying. Having the cat suit there again saves a lot of stress. Much rather just go for that without having to deal with him. And here you kind of see what they're supposed to do to you. If you use your touchpad, you can stun those enemies. That's why you're able to deal with that. Okay. We got the stack kind of early, which is nice. Always nice dealing with that annoying stamp. Okay, now onto the more interesting level in this world, everyone's favorite, probably not. Fuzzy Time Mine. There's a harder version of this layer, which turns into an Oscar of Doom within a few minutes of starting. In a level this long, you'll want to pay close attention to any of the shiny flashes you hear, either the sound or something else, because if you hear that, which is what I'm going to be going for, by the way, then you know that there's something nearby. And there's a couple of skips you can do, particularly if you get to the end of a particular section, it'll go up a little bit quicker. Useless pal walk. The green stars are probably the easiest to find, while the stamp's a little bit smaller and can be tricky sometimes. Escaped. Okay, good. Well, now we don't have to deal with that anymore. That's the easier version of the Owl Scar, in case you're wondering. Everything's within decent range, and because it's Owl Scar and everything will be hidden in the screen, you just have to get it as fast as possible, which I did. And then other than that, just don't fall down. There's a much harder version of that coming up later. Pretty much all the secret worlds are like that. It's pretty crazy. Okay, this is the Mystery House cat climb, I believe. Or throwdown. It's not cat climb. Oh, this might be the trolley one. Because as you see, you're supposed to use these balls to do stuff. So I get to show you what we're supposed to do. You have to throw a ball down and do that. And if you use your pointer, you could just throw it down that way. This is one of the trickier puzzles because while it seems like it could be done really quickly, it's not actually that easy. And yes, we get to actually do this the intended way. Which I think is kind of interesting. Because if you had a touchpad, you could just hit all these yourself, but we can't really do that. This one you can kind of skip. You don't actually have to throw anything at this. You could just do that or touch each of these manually. Again, because I don't have the touchpad, I have to walk up to those. That one's probably the easiest one, while the ones before it are a little bit trickier. And that's specifically due to the fact that we cannot use our same trick that we do for the other levels to instantly complete them. We have to actually play them normally on this controller. At some point, I'll probably switch controllers once I'm done with the game to make those parts a little bit easier. And now we're into another auto-scroller level. And in case you haven't already seen a lot of these Brigade levels that I'm moving through, these are inspired from Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 3. All these levels come from that game because in the final world of the game you face quite a few of these Super Mario Bros. 3 levels, which I find kind of interesting. I've never once kept this Katsune power-up, so hopefully I can maybe do some interesting things with it. Now, this one's a little bit trickier because in order to get through most of the stuff, you have to find and destroy very specific blocks hidden throughout the game. And that's how you get to each of the stars. Now, you don't necessarily need the bombs for everything, you just need them for some things. Particularly if I have the Katsune power-up or just ground pound, I can make blocks appear on my own. But there are a couple spots where it gets a little bit annoying, so... For the most part, we're just throwing bombs at everything, trying to destroy stuff while trying to keep a bomb onto our area at all times. Okay, I don't want to do that anymore, obviously. What a fake out, man. I'm gonna wait for them to jump. This is the first time we have to deal with these guys outside of their main levels, and it's not fun. Oh! Frick! Oh, we saved that big time, but because of it, we missed one of our other stuff and quite a few other things. You know what? Since I want to keep my other stuff, I actually have a better way of doing this. This will force us to reach high from the beginning, but at the very least, we keep our items and power-ups. Again, because it's an auto-score, wastes quite a bit of time to redo it any more than once. Yes, because that last bomb in the area exploded, I do not believe we're able to finish the level now, because we need the ability to do all of those before we could do that, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm killing every other bro I see, by the way, from now on. The thing in the back probably hid the level stamp, or maybe it was just a secret. I feel like the sooner we kill these guys, the better. That's what I thought was gonna happen, by the way. We had to destroy a block to get it this entire time, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, we're not letting any of these Pharaohs live after what they've did to us. We killed the other one on the side as well. Alright, now for the important part. The best way of dealing with this is to probably just wait until the very end to do it. Okay, well, this time we were able to get it. There's our stamp, just as I thought. Thankfully, it only took 2 tries to do that. I thought it was going to be way worse than that, but we defeated that eye, and now we actually have our Tanuki suit for once, which is really nice. Making Boom Boom just a little bit easier. Okay, he does start to try and show us a little bit with those sneaky sail attacks, but other than that, there's nothing going on with Boom Boom again. And that's about it. Also, I took dash on, which is not fun, but it's also the harder one, so I wasn't expecting him to go there. Most of this is happening just because I've not played the game in a while, so I don't really know how to do these bosses the best without taking damage, but at the very least, we're getting through it pretty well. And again, for anybody who's still kind of confused how to get those Flagpoles, Luigi's the best one to do it without power-ups, and Peach is probably the best one naturally from certain Mario distance, since Peach's foot will let him go through, grab the top easily. On that, I feel like Luigi's the only one that's pretty easy. The rest actually have to work hard to get the top of the flagpole. Well, I guess if you had Rosalina, she could just spin to get an extra jump, so she could also reach it pretty easily. But that's a little bit trickier, and she can only do that if she doesn't already have a power-up. Right. On to the next world we go, because before we finish this, I do want to go to this next world. But first we have to deal with this. This is the much more trollier battle that you probably don't know about, and probably one of the worser battles, to be specific. This is the eye that's actually a lot more tougher, in the form of Mightily Boss Slob. He is extremely trolly, has lots of problems that could be not apparent all the time, and yeah. He's very difficult to catch, for one, and two, he's probably the worst of the boss battles in here. Because for once, he just kind of taunts us, and then he turns into this giant clown. This is the easiest version. There will be a much harder version later. And now you can see I already took damage. All of the little blobs do damage. As well as Motley himself does damage. If you had the cat suit, you could just claw dive into him and that would take him out. But yeah, he's a lot more annoying, as you can see. I already took damage him. At least compared to Histocat, he's almost twice as annoying. And in his later forms, he becomes very hard to hit. Like you just saw there. At least we didn't get any extra cycles. Also, don't forget to get the star from him on the right. Right, we gotta remember to get the golden flagpole. We got it, though. Again, it's pretty easy to do with full AG without power-ups, so I'm perfectly fine right now. Yeah, he did take away my power-ups, so that will make World Castle or whatever a bit annoying. So many people have played this game, you're probably knowing what's coming up, but I'll wait a little bit just in case you haven't. But yeah. We do not have a World 7 in this game, by the way. Instead, it's this massive world. World Castle. This one requires 120 stars to get through. And it starts... Art's pretty difficult right out the gate. Pretty much every one of these levels is difficult in its own way. And this one is no exception. This one has more of those annoying fireballs. In this case, you want to try and fight with them by throwing stuff into the pipe to take it down. Now, obviously, I don't like dealing with these, so we're going to do another pipe skip here for this first one. You can do this with any pipe in the game if you just jump up and aim, and if you just jump on top of the pipe, you can skip having to go through that entire section. Saves a lot of stress on you. There's quite a few where you do actually have to do it the intended way, unfortunately, but beyond that, it's not that hard. This is a tricky one. I believe you're normally are supposed to have the cat suit for this, but there is another way to get up here in the form of trying to abuse Luigi's mechanics here to get up here. You're supposed to need a cat suit for this, but I kind of just walked up using that. And this takes us into a puzzle. This one's a little bit trickier, because you have to flip it midway through. Once the peace edge gets pressed down, you can't press it down again. And yes, we're just going on top here to skip the need to do any of the platforming down below. At the same time, I also kind of want to blow back. This is just to check for any stamps that might be in here. I don't actually need the clear pipes though, so I'll just go ahead and skip them for the first half. And as set up for this next one, I'm gonna POW all of these enemies out of the way, just so that they don't get in my way later. And this turns this mission into a free green star mission. Mostly just time now. So far, the hardest one I've had to deal with is the one before that. And see, this one in particular, yes, you can't really skip. And we're gonna fight this guy by downing one of his towers very early, so he gets forced to land on the ground, and then we can just defeat him like that to finish off the level. I believe the stamp is hidden somewhere, maybe on the top right. I forgot, though. Or it might be behind stuff. They start getting very sneaky with stamp locations, and besides, I don't think I could actually get this golden flagpole now. Unless I do that. Okay, I could just do that casually. Like, no problem, we'll just jump on the top and get the golden flagpole anyways. It's a good thing I thought of that, otherwise I would have wasted a lot more time than I needed to. Because I'm in a rush to beat this out, I'm actually going to wait until the next video to replay all the stuff or to a specific section before I actually replay it. For obvious reasons, because of wanting to go through stuff. So before we go back there, we're gonna go through the rest of the world, and then we might go back to it later in the middle. Then now into Switchback Lewins. This is a very interesting level that is heavily Legend of Zelda inspired with its top-down perspective. Yeah, I don't even need to deal with that guy if I could just do that. This is another spot, like I said, where if you do not want to use some of the other stuff, you'll actually need the fire flower, because you need it to light those torches in order to get a star. And here's a little secret. If you're trying to do this level without getting coins, good luck getting through there without getting coins, because that's kind of tough. Now, there has been a coinless run attempt by a few people, but I don't think they were able to get past this level, at the very least. Ah, fake torches there. Well, wait, there's more than I thought. Okay, nope. This is weird. Yeah, let's just not skip this obvious secret path that has a stamp in it. First thing we want to do is deal with these fire plants before we do anything else. While we could do this without doing this, I prefer to kill them just because they get in our way. By the way, this can't be it already. Yep. There's a thing up here, but... Oh! Yeah. I was about to say, is it gonna make us use the cat suit again? I don't think so. We might be able to do a side flip if we, Or actually, maybe a wall kick from here will work? Nope. I don't know. Perhaps we just need to do something else. Again, this one kind of intends you to use the cat suit, but there is a way to get up here without it. Because they even made you, okay. I have to probably just go really low down on the thing to actually make it. Or not. That's so stupid that despite Luigi's extra height he gets from any regular jump, he's still not able to make that. You gotta be kidding me. That's stupid. We'll just yell this time, because I don't really care. But we got it anyway. Okay, that is kind of agitate me a little bit too much, so I'll use this time to go back and collect the stamp, and then we'll do some skips now. I said I would wait for it, but I guess missing a green star is enough for me. This is what happens when you don't have your cat suit. Lots of bad things happen, including that. So we're going to do some reset stuff, and I'll see you in a minute. Oh guys, I'm Cool Yoshi, and we found the stamp at the top of this area in the rightward corner. Kind of sneaky, but yeah, I'm gonna be right back when I finish the level now. Alright, we are back, guys, at the end of the level here. So yeah, it's fun. Now we get to see the stamp we just got, and then I'll show you the last scene star, and then we'll move on after that. Oh guys, we're back at the same spot again. This time we'll just climb up to get our green star and be out of here. Because it's actually really close to the end of the level, I'm not going to cut it out because that'll just waste more time. The one thing I really like is once you take some of the green stars out of equation and you take out the randomness of the stamps, then it actually ends up being a really cool speedrun, because after you collect it, you literally just rush to the end past everything as fast as you can. But anyways, we got our last rage star there. Hopefully things like that do not happen again. So now moving on to, oh boy, yeah, this level, Red Hot Run. The speedrun level of 100 seconds that is literally just dash to the end. It's a spot I don't like, and it's really hard to do properly. It's very easy to die in it, and your only real savior is that. That's about it. So we're actually going to probably just take out our power-up like that, because this is one where you do not want to have power-ups for. And I didn't even jump! What the heck was that? You saw this. I pressed the jump button. I definitely pressed the jump button, and it did not work. And there's two sections of these, too. And then there's this, which is kind of annoying. Turning around in particular on this is very difficult. Yeah. I thought that would happen. The only thing that makes it easier is with each individual death, as long as you collect a green star, you can immediately try it again and still have your speed. I think, like, each time you dump seems to be the part where you mess up. And unlike some of the other 100-second levels, this one is way more tight. And yeah, we're gonna have to do the kid strat here. Just collect it like that, and then do a little bit of a skip at the end, and then there are a couple of jumps you can do to skip it, which I am doing. The worst problem is, as you saw right there already, is changing to the left to one of the other spots. And yeah, I don't believe there's any power-ups here anyways, even if you wanted to. I think the only power-up available is in one of the other spots. Beyond that, there's nothing else to do here. We're gonna skip this. Skip head to the bottom. Then do a couple of double jumps. Fortunately, our cycle isn't set up properly, so we'll have to take ourselves out yet again. And it's not like I can't skip this. Like, yeah. Obviously, if you're going for the speedrun, this is one of the hardest levels in this world and in the game in general to do stuff. In fact, this is probably the 10th hardest level in the game, and this is where the game is actually surprisingly difficult. Forget all the levels before it. This one is way more trickier. Pretty much getting every single thing in one cycle where you do all of it without dying a single time is extremely hard to do. And I mean extremely hard to do. And your only way to stop your momentum is to do this. Where you just do that. So that you can get your thing. So, obviously, we failed that. So, we kind of just threw away our power-up. And because of that, you're going to see the first appearance of the cheap power-up thing. And I do not like it. Oh, so we're just going to die again. So, what you just saw there is I'm not going to care about it right now. Because this is actually a hard level. So, it makes sense for it to be there. What you see there is the cheap power-up, which you're not going to be using because it blocks levels for 100%. So, I'll tell you what that is. So, what just appeared there is a new thing that was added to the Super Mario 3D World games in particular. And if you die 5 times in a level, it appears and essentially turns you into an invincible power machine, or as we call it, the White Tanuki suit. Which lets you essentially run through all this without taking any damage. Anything you run into, nothing happens. The game doesn't care about it. You just do stuff and that's it. There's nothing else to do. There's really nothing else to say about it. Obviously, if you finish the level with that, though, your flagpole will turn white instead of red, and then you'll have to finish again without that in order to make it back to red again. So obviously, as part of the playthrough, we are not allowed to use that. And unfortunately, we are also low on power-ups again. So this will be our first time actually using a Toad Owl, so we might use a couple of these, because there's still quite a bit of stuff. I'm just going to do the speedrun strategy and do this, and wow, we got lucky on our first try. So, and just like that, our power-ups are back. That is what we're going to be doing, hopefully, from now on whenever we run out of power-ups. That's essentially when you want to do that. But anyway, we're done with that terrifying level. That took quite a few tries. Most of the tries are spent trying to figure out how to get the coins. I think the best I could probably do in it, assuming I keep the right strategy or had, like, this Tanuki power-up, would probably be getting 2 of the 3 stars with our coins, and then I would fail to jump over to the left. Because, like I said, going around the left and doing that is pretty difficult. The only way you can relatively time it is doing a couple of other strategies. But anyway, we are once again reintroduced to the bullies in this level with more stuff again to deal with. This time, however, we also have rolling platforms that will move around and try to attack us. I've tried to stop him and he still hit me. Just so he wouldn't follow me there. And yes, these gyroids are some of the most annoying enemies in the game. They don't stop chasing you, and the flying ones don't even fall off when they appear in the lava. They're so annoying, as you can see. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of this level without even using a power-up, at least until I get to the bully section. Because if you don't have a power-up for this, it becomes really difficult. Beyond this is not really too difficult. It's just an auto score and nothing much else. Is this the bully one? Yeah, it is. Now we're going to use them. That deals with that. We're just gonna dive to the end here and skip the rest of that cycle. There's quite a few bullies you can kill throughout the area. They each give you different stuff, but I remember one of them is required for a secret later, and one of them, as you saw there, was obviously required to collect a green star. That's just why we're killing them. And okay, now we found the safety pad, so we can get back in there. You know what? I'm not going to even deal with that guy. The sooner I can just get off of C, I think, the better I'll be. And just like that, we've hit 100%, by the way. That's nice. Okay, now it gets a little bit tougher, because now there's kind of an unfair advantage with 3 of them. So you want to start by stunning them first, and then hit them into the lava. And then after all 3 of them are defeated, you can move on. It is possible to escape that without doing that. I thought that was going to take so I can't let them out. I got worried there for a second, but we got the gold flagpole. We don't have to go to that level again. It's much nicer to actually do these levels on the first try, finally, after who knows to defeat that Red Hot Run level. The reason why I'm not angry or calling myself a kid, because that's also one of the hardest levels in the game. I was actually expecting a play on it. Considering this is World Castle we're talking about, which is near the end of the game, they expect us to be dealing with a challenge by now. I'm gonna fix this pipe, which will take us to somewhere. Which, yep, is in our Fireball's hideout. We have to deal with that again. Oh boy, now there's like an army of them. Thankfully, we can use some of them to just take at each other, which helps out a little bit. Alright, we survived. That one was probably gonna actually be the hardest one, but we survived there. Just playing it safe, making sure not to get hit. As soon as I saw the balls, like, holy crap, that's a lot of them. If I just charged it to the middle, I probably would have just lost right power-up, so good thing we did that. Again, for anybody who's still confused why I'm not playing Bowser's Fury, I want to beat this game first before I move on to Bowser's Fury, because I feel like this is a little bit more stuff to it, and because I haven't done it anyway. So, dealing with this one, because it requires the cat suit to be fast, so again, kind of just doing this. Yeah, Prince Bully hasn't really changed too much. There is a little bit of RNG to him sometimes in where he spawns, but other than that, he always goes to the center of the screen. Whenever you get him into a pocket, you always hit him into the left, and as soon as you do the same thing, he will appear in one of those spots almost every single time. So yeah, he's... like, forget the other fights, he's probably one of the easier ones. I feel sad for anyone who's died to him, because I feel like if you don't have power-ups, he's much more challenging. But here's a little bit more trollier fight in the form of Broder. This one is as us fighting the boss again, which is a little bit more trolly. In fact, I heavily expected to lose my power-ups. Again, if you keep any of your fire power-ups from later, you can use that to damage him. So now you get to see the soul version of him. Which, I just missed one cycle, so that's terrible. The most annoying thing is these fireballs that have been added in as extras that just get in your way and often try and kill you. It's not fun. Not sure if we need the Katsu again, but most of me getting the Katsu back and the other stuff, in case... by the way, in case you're wondering what you probably missed, I took out my Katsu power-up or whatever and swapped it for something else just to make things interesting. Because, yeah. Because we definitely do not need that. Right, into Rammerhead Reef we go. I'm choosing not to get my cat power-up back because the level after this is going to be another one of the hardest levels in the game. Kind of annoying how they keep on putting these hard levels in here. And besides, the fire power is probably actually better for this level than others. If you're going for no damage, this is one of the hardest levels to evade damage in the game because you got these giant things that block more than 90% of the screen. Giant puzzles that take a little while, and you have to go slow to get through all of it, which is really annoying. Obviously, since we're not doing that, we can take damage through some of them if we want, but I'm mostly gonna play it safe. Okay, so now we get into the part where things start getting a little bit trolly. I'll start by taking the semi-intended strategy for this section, which involves following each of these guys up to the right, one by one, and then looping around to the left, where you can wait in this section, and then follow one of them down. Yeah, it looks like I didn't do that. Wait a minute, I could have just done this, actually. So there you saw one of them actually had a green star instead of just a regular star, so what we're gonna do now is, it could have actually been done earlier, is wait for the green star guy to come around, which will be now, and we collect that, and then we can move on to this second loop. The particular annoying thing is that often there will be two of them stashed together in some locations. I mean, it's very little downtime for when you actually are supposed to go, but yeah. Oh, and for some reason we go outside now. Also, there's a little glitch we could do in this level if we had the touchpad, which I'm not sure if that fixed, but you can freeze these guys in a later level when they move up, and if, wow, these can bounce off the water. Okay then. Alright. So yeah, you could do that to collect a couple of coins here, but other than that, there's nothing here. And then suddenly back into the underground we go all of a sudden. And the most annoying thing about these is once they're on the screen, at least for now, these shark guys are completely unkillable. You can't take them out with your firepower or anything else. You just have to avoid them as you go along. Let's see if we can skip this. Oh, wait. So this is the second part where we need the firepower for. Good thing we actually kept it, otherwise that would have been bad. Use their firepower to destroy those stuff. If you don't do that, you have to take damage twice, I believe. Not once, but twice to get to that. So yeah, having the firepower just saves a lot of stress. Now we have a similar pattern, only now there's guys on the outside as well. This is one reason why I didn't want to keep my power up from here, because I was pretty sure I was going to get hit regardless. Okay, we kind of just landed on that guy, still able to go through. Hidden firepower in the right, despite losing it, will allow us to get through this next section. Go ahead and hit these, because why not? There's a stamp. I'm just gonna go, because I can't just wait forever. Alright, here it is. Yeah. Oh, wow. And an obnoxious flagpole, of course. Because why not? Why not have more of these enemies going around the randomness? It's like they want me to get it almost. So because of that, we missed our first golden flagpole. That one doesn't even require much stress to get at all. In fact, what I'm going to do for each of those is I'm actually just going to straight up get that off screen. We're not going to even worry about that. We're going to just get that straight up off screen. And here you'll see the difference now. When you don't get the golden flagpole, you get that. It's golden if we would have gotten that. And we need all golden flagpoles to reach the secret world later, so we still have to go for that later. But for now, I'm gonna try and end this as quickly as possible by going into Chick Tap Tower, because my next will be in that secret area. And this has the best theme, by the way, in World Castle. And also we'll have a backup catsuit that I could use to collect that power up later, which is good because we need that to collect a star here, and then there's a stamp literally right above it, and another secret as well. Here's the trolley secret I found. It is in this world, and it's kind of an homage to the final level, but you have to kill all these magic Koopas and a star just spawns. Don't ask me why a star spawns there, it just does that. And now for arguably one of the harder parts of the game that can get really annoying. We want to do this in several phases. We want to obviously start by killing all of the enemies. If any of them survive this, it just becomes way more difficult. In the speedrun, you obviously don't want to kill them, but because we are a beginner, we need to make sure we kill all of them. So that way we could just run down the end without having to deal with them. In case you're wondering where the final green star is, I believe it's hidden in here. You have to crawl into here, this tiny little space to do it. It's one of the only times it doesn't reveal itself right away, but thankfully I remember that. And now, once we collect this, well, respawn the thing, and the moment you attack this triggers a black smoke that starts chasing you down, and you have to run all the way down. And the worst thing about it is if you have the catsuit, you'll periodically stick to the walls, so I added a ground pound. Thankfully, that's not as bad once you get a hang of it, and thankfully I was able to do that on the first try. Anyway, Cool, so now we don't have to do Trick Tap Tower ever again, which is nice. No retries needed. And now we have one more level to do after that, and then things will get interesting. Of course, immediately after that is another forced level. This time in the force, a boomerang level, where you have to complete the level by using a boomerang. Oh, by the way, this part, I'm just gonna show you. Oh, it does have a secret. It's Captain Toad's initial final level. So yeah, we do need this. This one a little bit tougher because there are multiple ways for Captain Toad to just outright die, so you have to be a little bit careful. That being said, I kind of just moved past that flop and didn't really care. If you are going to take damage in any Captain Toad level, this is probably the one where it will happen because this one has more obstacles than anything else. Like, this has obstacles basically everywhere and multiple chances of getting squished. Similar to the Galaxy games, I believe any squish in this game is auto-death, so you don't want that to happen. I believe it was only in, like, a different game, maybe in Super Mario World or something else, or in the game they get introduced and it was initially just damage, but they changed it to be instant death in the Galaxy games and all the other stuff. They also look pretty crazy. Also, if you want to take damage, this is the spot to do it, right at the end. But anyway, another pretty quick level. These aren't meant to be challenging, but instead function as sort of a puzzle that you have to get through. And once you collect all 5 stars, you finish just like that. Pretty easy. I am actually kind of interested to see what the 4-player version of that looks like, considering they actually allow you to do 4 players at aim. That was a complaint that a lot of people had. For sure. But anyway, we're going to finish off this level with the big boy, and probably actually the hardest level in this besides the castle. Shimmering Lava Lake. This one has stuff everywhere, more annoying jive bones, and an auto-scorer platform thing similar to the classic enemies that you might have guessed before. In this level, we have to pick up the boomerang and keep it for as long of a time as possible, because we need it later to collect a spot. A good thing that this allows us to do, though, is by spamming it, we could basically kill these guys over and over again, which saves us from dealing with that. And you want to ignore this first part. Also, now we have to deal with these lava things again, but this time they're actually in the regular level. Any platform that's green and or higher up, like blue, will always remain up, but anything else has the potentiality to sink, so you're basically fighting with lava the entire time. I don't like this one bit, so we're just gonna go straight through it and try and collect this in sort of a speedrun way, which we did, which is nice. Well, that helps out a lot. We got the last official boomerang thing, but because we're small, we have to get our power-up back. So we're back to this. Also, whoop. Okay, I don't want to go too close here. How are we supposed to... Oh, wait, that's still available from another side. Yeah, I could just go here, and then I should be able to collect a power up here. There it is. Got our boomerang back, we're fine, everything's fine. This one's kind of a delayed stamp, by the way. You have to wait until it goes all the way up to get it. And then our final green star is sitting over there, just as soon as we can... That's not fun when you expect to deal with that and yet you just miss it completely. Also, we can just rush to the end, right? So let's do that. Okay, now for a little bit of an annoyance. These speedrun fiends are about to come at this. If any of them hit us, it's one shot, but we don't have to deal with that because... Oh, and we messed up though. We didn't jump at the end. Well, I was supposed to jump at the end to tell you to go on Flagpole. I'm surprised. That's actually the first time that's happened. So if you aren't too low on the Flagpole, you can still miss it with Catsuit. That's my first time I've done that. Hopefully I do not do that on the final Bowser, because that would be insanely bad. Alright. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, and in decent time, I think. So, we're going to go and get our stuff back that we missed in terms of going Flagpoles, and then we'll see you guys in the next video where we continue on World Castle. Bye!